Welcome to the second preview episode for the Internet of Things Made Simple. I'm Larry Ballhumer. Remember that full episodes are going to be available on November 1st. Sometimes real life can be much more scary than Hollywood can ever produce. Just look at the series Making a Murderer as an example. For those of you who haven't watched it, it's a real life series talking about some murders that happened, I believe, in Wisconsin. And to be honest, that is scarier than anything Hollywood could ever write. The same feeling came to me when I was reading an article in CNET that talked about some of the issues with the elections. And more importantly, it talked about how, in spite of the fact that there's $380 million put aside to help secure the election since 2016, most of that money hasn't actually been spent. So it brings up an important question. Should we return to only using paper ballots? That does kind of sound backwards, and it does kind of sound like it would slow things down, and it makes you wonder why we propose that. But I think it's very pressing that we do consider this, and I'm going to talk about it when we return. No doubt some of you are wondering, why does a show that talks about the Internet of Things talk about going backwards and moving back towards paper? Doesn't it kind of seem counterproductive? It actually is double sounding counterproductive, if I can use that term, because of the fact that about 20 years ago in 1999, I had the privilege of working with many great people from the city of Toronto on some of their elections. And what we did was, although it was using paper ballots, it was the first time that a cellular network was used to actually transmit the results. And this was revolutionary. It actually was mentioned in several technology magazines at the time. And one of the ironic parts was the main criticism of it was the fact that it returned results so fast. Most of the broadcasts were left over with 45 minutes to come up with just basically dead air because there's nothing else to talk about. But the reason why I bring this up, despite the fact that I'm heavily involved in the world of IoT, is the stakes are just too high. And I personally don't believe at this point there is any way you can guarantee that they won't be hacked. What I'm proposing is that we still stick to paper ballots, and that way everyone actually checks a box or fills in whatever it might be, the bubble, that kind of stuff. And that is the official ballot. That is the one that is stored. That is the one that is used in the case of recalls or anything else like that. It doesn't mean that we can't actually use the internet to transmit results. So in this case, once all the ballots are tabulated, all the results could be sent, and that way everything is logged. But in the event of any kind of an issue, we need to go back to paper ballots. I do hope one day we can actually fix this because, again, just to recap, it's kind of ironic that a guy who touts the Internet of Things is saying go back to paper. But considering what's involved with elections, it's just too valuable right now. And I think with all the great hackers out there in the world, there is no way to keep them off of this. We can always use, armed guards and those kind of things for paper ballots. I just don't think we have the same kind of technology and security available right now to make sure that the elections are not compromised. I look forward to hearing your comments on this. Drop me a note, and I look forward to having you listen to future episodes. Thanks for listening.